Hey guys, it's SJ, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about how to stop being a shouty mum and be a more calm parent. It's just really top of my mind because this morning was so difficult. Just like sometimes you have children who just know how to challenge you and how to push your buttons, and all you want to do is just, you feel your blood boiling up and you're like, I'm gonna snap, I'm gonna yell. And it really doesn't help the situation, I don't find. And I know that a lot of us just want to just know in that boiling point, how do we switch off and stop the urge to yell and scream and shout and switch gears and be a calmer parent, basically. And there's sort of 3 techniques that I think really help me literally in the moment of like, am I gonna go or not? And I'm a real gentle parenting advocate. As you know, if you are not new to my channel, if you are new, then I've done a few videos on gentle parenting and positive discipline. I absolutely love this style of parenting and I read up a lot on it, and I find that reading as much as I can about it just gives me so much help in terms of just being really purposefully gentle and purposefully a positive person in my kids' lives, because especially as they're getting older, they're 2, 5 and 9, as I'm getting into those, thinking towards teens, and I want to be an open, gentle, kind person that they can always talk to, and that relationship starts right now. So I'm going to give you my top 3 ways that I personally do it, and I would love to hear more of your ideas in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you are new. As I said, I will link my gentle parenting videos below and my Amazon list. I have an Amazon storefront with all my favourite gentle parenting books as well, because I get asked a lot about that. But yeah, here are my tips. So my first one is just a phrase that really helps me, and it is that when you're having a tough time, remember that you are their emotional rock. And whenever I think of that, I'm just like, oh my goodness, it stops me from getting involved in the emotions. You have to sort of try to divorce your emotions and not get involved, and it's so hard. This is your child you're talking about, and they're doing this at the worst time to you. They've done it deliberately. You're just so upset as well. You're upset they're upset. You're worried about the consequences. Your other children in the house are getting upset. You know, maybe it's in public. There's all these other emotions that you're feeling, and it's hard to detach yourself from it. And I read that a lot. Just don't get emotionally involved. But for me, the thing that helps is thinking, I am their emotional rock. And once you put yourself in that position as a helper, then you start to be able to put that thought into practice about not having your emotions involved. So thinking, I'm your emotional rock right now. Imagine if I walk past a person in need, a person this upset, a person this angry, and I'm the only person who can help them through this. Straight away you put yourself in a position of control, and you're not reacting, you are acting, and you're going to find it, I find that such a helpful phrase to me, to put myself in that position of power and control. I don't need to then think I need to break, I need to take the deep breaths. I'm suddenly like, no, I'm not joining you in this, because I'm the person that you've done this to. It feels like you're doing it to me because I'm your emotional rock, and that's how I have to behave right now. And if we can behave that way during their early tantrums over their toddlers, their 9-year-olds who are got anxiety and all these different issues, as long as we're their emotional rock now, which means that we don't take the punches, it means we are solid and we are there and we are reliably helpful and we're reliably open to their feelings, then that will stay with them for the rest of their lives. And how amazing would it be to have that relationship with them? That would be my dream. So yeah, number 1, you're in that crunch moment, just think, how do I react? I react as if I'm their emotional rock. My second top tip to help me in this moment as well is to go silent. That might sound strange, but I always think if you've got nothing nice to say, better to say nothing at all. And it's something that we heard so much when we were younger, and it really helps me in the moment, because sometimes the worst time I ever feel about myself is when I think back on all the things I've said to them, and sometimes it's shaming them, or it's just mean, or it's saying, you're always like this, there's always one and it's always you. I've said that before. You're the oldest but you're acting like the youngest. I've said that before. Comparing to other siblings in the house, he's not behaving like that, why do you have to? And all of those things that we say to our children. I read this thing, and it was that how we talk to them becomes how their internal voice talks to them about themselves. And I was just like, oh my goodness, that is true. Like, and we've all got an internal voice. We've all got a thing that we go to that is, I'm like this, or I never do that, or I can't do this. And it's things that we say in anger, but they stick. You know how much they stick in your head. And we're all guilty of saying it. And I wouldn't say that I'm a terrible mother and a terrible person because I've said those things, and that I have damaged my children. No, but do I want to just stop myself from going into that? And the more and more and more I talk, and the more consequences I'm putting on the actions as well, the more you start saying, and you know, it's just so tough. So I found the best way for me is I just go and I just think to myself, say nothing. So absolutely nothing. And I don't do it as a punishment. So I'm not like like I'm not talking to you, I'm ignoring you, don't turn my back. I'm there looking, but I don't use words. And that might be just because I don't want to say anything I'm going to regret. But I'm still there helping, I'm still there being present. You know, even if I'm just silently getting you from this situation, physically moving you away from a tantrum area where you might hurt yourself, and then putting you somewhere safe, and I'm doing the things to keep you safe, and I'm looking you in the eye, or I'm giving you a hug, or I'm rubbing your back, but I'm not using words. And it does really, really, really help me anyway. The third thing is to learn their love language. Now you might think I sound like a real hippy dippy when I say that, but I've just got really into love languages, and I've done a video about my love language, which I'll link below. They didn't actually have like a children's quiz you can do, so I did the adults quiz, but I talk about the 5 different love languages, and it's so insightful in dealing with your children. So there's 5 different love languages, and so for an example of how this helps in the situation, I had a huge argument with my child, and they were so cross, they were so uncooperative, and that's the thing they do, is refusal to cooperate, refusal to get dressed, refusal to walk down the street. And it drives me insane because I'm a mum of 3 and I've got other children that I'm trying to get somewhere, and it's a really, really tough thing. But my child, one of my children is an acts of service love language, which means that whenever I'm doing something for him, or if he's in a bad mood, he'll start barking orders at me sometimes, like, give me a drink, I want some toast, I'm hungry. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you talk to me like that right now? You think I'm going to go and get you some stuff? No. But understanding that his love language is acts of service, and it's very much just obvious when you read the love languages and apply them to him. What he's saying is, do you love me? Do you love me this much that even when I'm behaving like this, do you still love me? Is what they're asking you. So today we're having this huge almighty meltdown. I was doing my best to keep calm, and then in the middle of it he's like, are you going to buy me this jumper that I wanted? And my reaction was like, oh my gosh, you think that behaving like this, you deserve a gift now? But his other love language is gifts, and he always asks me that in the middle of a row. So now I understand that is his love language. What he's actually saying is, can I push you like this, and do you still love me? I know this sounds really weird, but I don't want it to be weird. It just is really insightful, and I think that you'll really enjoy learning about it. So my other child, he is different. So by the way, with the gift thing, I just said, oh, it's on your wish list and I'll look at getting it for you. So I'm not going to say, yes, you're getting it now, but I'm not going to link it to his behaviour, because I know that what he's asking is this a love still there for me? Because that is his love language. It's so strange, but it works so well. And then my second child, he's like me, I had words of affirmation, so I need to hear things a lot. I need to hear positive words that I'm doing the right thing all the time. So again, it's like if he's having a tantrum, or he's really upset, or he's uncooperative, it's telling him all the great things about him, like, oh, I just love you so much. I can talk him out of it by talking lovely things about him. And he's also very physical, so he wants me to cocoon him and cuddle him, or carry him like a baby and rock him. He accepts all of that, whereas my other child doesn't. And that's because that's his love language. So love languages are fascinating. I can do another video on it if you're interested more about it and children, but I think the one I did is interesting, and I think you'll learn the love languages. And as I say, it's just watching out for them and applying them, and it really helps you to stay calm, because you're understanding that's why they're asking me that, that's why they're doing that, that's why they're suddenly reacting in this way that can seem so strange. Anyway, those are my top 3. This is how I keep calm and how I stop myself from turning into shouty mum. I think that there are loads of other things out there, you know, that help us walking away, taking deep breaths, all of that stuff, but I hope these are a bit different and a bit usable and practical. I will do some more gentle parenting, positive discipline videos coming up. I've got a whole one about like typical issues that you're having and how to overcome them with gentle parenting techniques that I've researched and written up, so do hit subscribe if you'd like to have that video pop into your inbox or your subscription box as well. Thanks so much for watching and listening. I really hope that if you are having a bad shouty period, that this just tells you that, you know, you're not alone. We're all like it. You know, we're dealing with people's emotions, and we would be not human, and it shows we wouldn't care if we weren't watching this video. It shows that you care and that you are a very good parent. By yelling at them shows that you're involved and that you're in the moment. That's all it shows. But obviously we want to try and avoid it and keep our reactions and keep our lids cooler. I'm not talking very well, but you know what I mean. Right, off to get the kids, off to do another day of battles, and we will come out the other side calm and happy. Lots of love, everyone. Bye bye.